Friday afternoon, finished up some work on the old Corvette project here. Got to bring the mod in, got to trim the track. That spinning ain't winning's got to go. So I got some plans for Pat. Take care of that F7.
Sure is a good thing I got this cover. Come on, old girl. Oh, God. Sick. All right, we're going to fix that. If you've been following along, you saw me do an interview with Greg from Caliber over at the Epping show. And I was so impressed with these Rover 360 dollies that I ended up picking up a set. I'm throwing these together to put on that thing because that's what always happens when it comes in over that little cement edge. They end up kicking the dollies right out. I'm sick of it. So perfect opportunity. Throw these things together quick. Little assembly required, no big deal. You get the little rubber pads. These two are the ones for the track one. Again, all the bases are the same. Doesn't matter which one you put the things in. I'm gonna grease these little nubs up so they all slap in here a little bit easier. They do give you a little pull tab on the back too. So they really did think of everything with these, which is pretty impressive. A little bit of grease on there. I'm not even gonna need pliers to pull these through on the backside. They just are falling right in. You'll love to see that. Oof. These things are some hogs, dude. All right, I did one already to figure out the best way to go about doing it. Slapping the wheels in isn't too bad. You got this C-clip on here. Just gotta put some grease on this, get it started in there. You just kinda gotta wiggle it around until that C-clip aligns itself and it starts to drop in. And then I'm using a 1/2 inch extension and the hammer and just driving them in the rest of the way. There we go. That's it. Beauty. Ta-da! So I'm not gonna put the straps on right away, but if you do go to put these on, that's the track one. Let's get a ski one here. They do have a little inside-outside kind of thing. They're not marked, but this little edge here goes to the outside. So that way, when you feed it in here, and you pull it flush all the way up in, this sits out here and this shoulder can slide all the way up. If you're gonna put them in, all you do is pull it up the rest of the way. You can see there's little notches here that retain it from falling back out the bottom. But again, I'm not gonna run these yet. I'm just gonna run them as is and see how they do. Let's see how this goes. They didn't even care at all. Like I mentioned, that spinning ain't winning. I gotta do something about Pat's F7. We had the rule. There was a whole rule, no F7s. And here he is, F7, right? Traction's currently my biggest issue. I think from those little clips, it looked pretty even once I started to hook up. So I'm trimming this track down again, which I discovered thanks to Andy at Avid. I was on the phone with Andy, we were talking about this sled. Definitely not ordering more cheater parts for this from Andy at Avid, but we were talking about this thing, and he mentioned that this track was probably a 2.4 inch. So I go out and I start looking at it, and sure enough, it's been cut down once already. I'm about to butcher this thing down to like a 1 inch or a 7/8 or somewhere in that region, and then I've got more treats going into it. So being that it's a center drive, or it has all the stuff for the center drive or center port drive or whatever the hell it's called, I can't really put traditional studs in it. I'm giving some Kold Kutters a try. I'm pumped to try these things out. I've never run them before. I've heard really good things about them. All the Rimshaw guys run them. I'm gonna chop those lugs down, pre-drill all of them, throw these things in, and cross my fingers that that's enough traction to take care of that F7. Let's get to it. This bag of 1,000 Kold Kutters was like 150 bucks shipped to the shop. So can't really beat that. These are the shorter 5/8 ones. I forget what thread pitch and size I ordered. They go on their site, Kold Kutter, check them out. They got all kinds of different sizes. Do you think 7/8 is too much?
That's about an inch.
Oh yeah, so this is like 15/16. Where did you even find that?
Conduit. Electrical conduit.
Jesus.
I got stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude. Actually, you know what? That might not be bad if I run the guide of the saw. Yeah, but I need to build a new cover because that thing's gonna get yoinked off of there in no time.
Nah, I won't go up that far.
Well, watch your head. Because that's about what I want to do right there. If I run the guide right across, then I gotta hold the pipe on every single one of them too. What do you mean?
Cut this one.
How? But then I still gotta take the pipe across. It's better to go straight. That's what I'm saying. I'll have to come from the back. That's the height I'm looking for. Let's try that. You get your own tool.
Right here.
Give me this.
Bend it, you know.
What are you talking about? That's what I'm pushing right now. Why is it rising? It's coming up. Why is it doing that? What do you mean I'm way low? That was dialed. What's wrong with that?
Make them all to a point.
I'm gonna fucking point you.
Going where it's at. You probably could use a new blade too.
Yeah, you kind of chooch this one.
Those things are.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Shorten it a bit. Chuck it way in there so you go all the way.
I can't. That is chucked all the way up. That's chucked up, dude. Yo, these are kind of sick.
Take a picture and send it to Pat. There's shenanigans going on.
Oh! All right, we got a lot of cutting to do. So Andy was bang on. This thing has been cut in some spots, which is the weird part. Like this one, not cut. See, all the little fingers are still there. That one not cut. This one has been cut. This one has been cut. You can see it's all wavy. Like that one, not as much. I don't know what is going on, but at least now they're all gonna be somewhat uniform. Dialed on the cut, dude. Ooh. That's a nice cut, look at that. Come on. Ooh, our angle is a little off on that one. That one's nice. Whoa. That might be the best one yet. See, like, look how this one has never been touched. This one clearly been cut. What happened in this track? Who did this? This makes no sense. Look, this uncut, definitely been cut. I don't know if they did a bunch of them and got tired or what happened here. Jeepers. All right, we only got 3 rows left. It's probably taken me maybe 45 minutes. Ta-da! Nice. I have absolutely zero pattern here. I'm just blowing holes, dude. We're almost to the driver. We're almost starting to make the bend there. So a little under halfway. I'm gonna call it there for the night. Go get some food. We'll pick this back up in the morning. Got our supervisor today. Get out of here with that. Back to pre-drilling and throwing the screws in. Let's get after it. Buddy's got the headlamp and a flashlight? Hey. I reached out to Chris Ackerman at 139 Designs this morning and I said, hey, any chance you've got templates for a really nice 2001 Indy? And he goes, hang on, let me check, I think so. Sure enough, it's got him. So I'm on my way over there right now to chat with him a little bit, real quick. I got a couple minutes and he's got a few minutes to see what we can probably put together for some sort of cool wrap for this sled. There's not really a whole lot to cover with the wrap process. Once it's cleaned up, the heat gun helps to lay it and contour it and everything like that. I'll do time lapse and then pop in and out if I need to explain something that's kind of weird, but I think it's pretty straightforward. If not, I'm sure there's other wrap install how-to videos out there, but let's get into it. I got the right-hand side done. I'm glad I only have one more side to do and 2 stickers. Oh man, I didn't realize this one's all stone pecs. Sick. These things have been on for a long time. Even though the hood was originally red and painted black, I figured these had been put on hopefully somewhat recently, but no, they've been on there for a long time. They're super thin and dried out. So you have a very small window with the heat gun where the sticker is now pliable enough to peel off without either just breaking right off, you know, like you get it too hot and it just stretches and snaps in half, or if it's not hot enough, it comes off in little tiny pieces. So there's a really fine window. It's tricky getting that heat just right, and it takes quite a bit of, as you might have noticed in the time lapse, heat, peel it, keep going. Come on, god damn it. This sucks. For the budget bomber, dude, we're going right over the adhesive. Look at this. Let this window cleaner dry up. I found this stuff worked pretty good for cleaning up before a wrap. I'm sure other people have their own method, but this works decent for me. Oh my lord, this thing long though. My hand is straight stuck. Oh my God. The next one's really tough. Comes up into here, cuts over into this, and then up into this, and a piece down into here. So essentially I'm gonna have to try and lay this edge, work this, and pull it up, and then, yeah, we'll see. This is gonna be a tough one. Let's give this a tug job like that. All right, new plan, here we go. Come on now. Oh, something like this. There you go. Yo, this thing's coming out good. I'm getting pumped. I don't know what to do with the tunnel now. I got the rear skid wheel situation handled. I think at some point those rails are gonna have to get powdered red. Cause like I said, after the whole challenge is over, I'm gonna get yelled at for this big time. The boys are gonna be all over me about doing this. But once that's all done and I start to go nuts with it, as if I'm not really doing that now, but you know what I'm saying? I think the rails need to be done red. Those should be cleaned up, repainted. I'm gonna end up restoring this whole thing. God damn. I'm so pumped. Awkward. As you can see, the wrap is on. The tunnel is kind of sort of painted and also almost done. I'm letting that dry, and then I got to throw the bumper on, flat back on. I don't know if I'm gonna put the little black plastic cover things back on it. They kind of look goofy. I think it will be fine with just the bumper on it, but we'll see when we get to that point. And then reassemble the Powder Pros, clean those things up. They were super gross when they showed up. I think I covered that I got those off eBay for a deal. But they were super dirty. They've got Arctic Cat mounts, which I don't think are gonna work, but luckily I have SLP Polaris mounts on hand, so I can use all of that stuff. The carbides are decent, so I'm good to go there. I tried to paint the loops red with some Krylon plastic paint stuff. Not holding up, it's just chipping right off. So they'll turn black again eventually, or kind of stay red for a little bit, but whatever, dude, budget bomber. These things cleaned up great. A little bit of saddle wear, not too bad. The one, they both have a couple little dingers there, but these things are great for 120 bucks. I got new hardware for them. I got new stainless stuff, so I don't have to put the crusty, rusty hardware back in. It's just my problem. I can't not do it nice. You know, when I like something, I gotta go ahead and do it nice. Loops are all on. It's a boring procedure of mixing, matching, and messing with hardware and getting all that dialed in, so no coverage there. Ski loops are easy. They're just me being me, messing with hardware. Huh. I am shocked that can't. Ow! Holy shit, this thing's heavy. This is gonna be fun. Showing you guys the bottom of these. Dude, what? Where's the keel? Yo! What? What the f are these, bro? Dude, this is bad. Holy, yeah, oh my God, I never noticed. The inside of the ski is all blown up and like gone. That's crazy. Like, throw them out. Yeah, these are going in the dumpster, dude. Big crash noise. Not what I expected at all. I knew they were weird. That was bad. All right, big reveal. This one's not bad. So this is what I expected to find. No big gap, but my God, this steel plate contraption is weird. It's like oh, the ski's broken. This one's broke right in half right here. Both sides, so that's cool. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Boom. Where's our stuff there, Goose? All right, we got this. You can see the tunnel's pretty well done, black. I'm not putting those plastic things on. Those look terrible sticking up above the tunnel. All black blends in with the bumper and looks fine. Next up, I've got some Harbor Freight buffing mini pad thingies. I'm gonna chuck those up in the drill even though they're threaded ends. Don't care. I'm gonna try and clean, whoa, watch your toe. Sorry, bud, you all right? Gonna try and clean this windshield up, get all those cover swirl marks off of it. See how it goes. Bonk. It's way better. It's not perfect, but that's way better. This thing shined up pretty good. Like quite a bit better than I expected it to. The windshield, not great. It's definitely better than it was. It's not perfect. The cover definitely did a number on it. I'm very surprised how clean the tunnel is and how that thing buffed right back up and blended right in with the paint that I did back there. Everything else is pretty good. I'm waiting on a rear axle to show up from Avid so I can put some 8-inch wheels in the back of it. And then handlebar swap. I've got Axys Controls in the bottom of my cart over there. I got to finish power probing and checking those with the multimeter and making sure that all the high-low switches, signals, all that stuff will match up with what's going on this. This thing's so simple, and that was still relatively simple on the Axis, so I think it's all going to be fine. I'm able to bypass the throttle safety switch and run just the little kill switch block from the Axis, so I won't have any of that stuff to mess with anymore or worry about. And yeah.
Yeah, go see. Well, there
Jim O'Neill watches this one. Jimmy, if you were watching, dude, we need some rags.
Oh yeah, Jim's supposed to bring us towels, microfibers.
That's beautiful.
Listen, you're gonna have to bleep that out.
The power of YouTube, it works. So getting this axle on hand and giving it a once over, it's definitely up there as probably my favorite axle that I've had. I've had most of the other brands as well. This one just seems very simple and straightforward. Install is gonna be easy. There's not a lot to deal with in terms of like locating the two halves and the wheels and making sure everything's square. It kind of handles all of that on its own, which is really nice. The bolts are captured here, so you don't have to worry about getting a wrench on the inside. Everything is pretty much just you tighten one side of it and the other side's already done or taken care of. So I'm looking forward to getting this in. It should be very simple, very straightforward. Let's get into it. Put that bad boy right there. What the? Yeah. Oh, Jesus, dude. See you later. Ha. Oh yeah, come on, come to Papa. Get out of there. More track rubbers. Damn, I missed again. Look at these stupid things. Okay, we need a rag, we need the stuff. Take that out, flip those. Okie doke. Nice new rag, courtesy of Jim O'Neill. Thank you, buddy. All right, now we've got our captured block. That's greased up there, so we don't need to do that. Let's do this. Mentioned this before in a past video. You want to keep any grease off of your bolt and the threads if you're going to do Loctite, because the grease will prevent the Loctite from fully drying and doing its job. So get that snugged up. Flip over here, do the same thing on this one. We'll go and do this number. Oh yeah, we're almost there. Ow. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Ah! Okie dokie. Do that number. Take our block. Hopefully my arm's not blocking too much of this. Get it into our channel here. Just gotta lift and twist on the axle till it lines up. Some Loctite on the bolt there. Get our nylock like this. Get that started. In here, make sure that's in the recess like it's supposed to be. That's just snugged up. Now let's go to the other side. Finagle all that in, then we'll pop back over here, do our adjuster, tighten this, yada yada. Okay, we're back. Zip this up, start taking up our tension. So now that that's mostly oriented, now we can go in here with our wrench, actually my stubby, and start snugging these down, hold the inner assembly together. Try to get a little bit with the long handle here. Make sure they're really tight. I had to play the windows on the track with the end of the wrench and stuff. Depending on where these end up, you might have to rotate the track to play the wrench into the window so that you can get it down onto the head of the bolt. Now, we set our tension, tighten these two nuts, and then finagle the rear wheel in on the outside, lock this down, then we're good. This is the tricky part. So you saw, you just tap it in with your hammer. Be really careful. You don't want to go wailing on that because you could blow the wheel out where the bearing is recessed and mounted. So just light taps, spinning the track over helps walk it into place as well. Common sense goes a long way with something like that. Normally I'd use my plastic dead blow style hammer, but I'd have to get up and go to the little box for that. So I ain't doing it. gonna make all kinds of racket, aren't you? Yep, go for it. I'll give it a minute. There he goes. All right. Swapping over the handlebars and going to all the newer controls and everything here. I've already got this newer left side control all labeled and figured out what wire does what. Headlights momentary, so I got to go and check the factory one, see if that's a momentary pulse to a relay or what the deal is there. Modes are also momentary, and the reverse is momentary. So there's a lot of options here for down the road if I need a momentary switch for something, right? Potentially nitrous, potentially who knows what. Any number of things I can use these for down the road. Brake, super simple, open circuit, lever closes the circuit, taillight functions. Throttle, super easy, hand warmer, right, done deal. Throttle safety, trash, don't need that where we're going. Kill switch is the same style circuit as that entire assembly with its built-in two position throttle safety setup. So just wiring in the kill switch, that will all function appropriately as it's supposed to. Shout out to Muscle D off of Hardcore Sledder. He sent me basically a whole PDF of the factory manual for this thing, so I was able to go get a diagram which has all the wire colors of what they do on the factory controls and everything, which will definitely cut down a lot of my time with the ohm meter and checking all that and figuring out what does what. So I've got this. All this stuff is labeled. I just got to go through the sled, label a couple of those. I've got a bunch of connectors in the back. I'm going to use up some spare stuff, whatever I've got. I've got some 2-pin Sumitomos like this. I've got some Deutsch style stuff. I've got some Metropack. I'm just going to make it up as I go. It'll probably all be loomed way too nice for what this thing is, but that's me. Cheetah Boondocker bars, 2-inch riser. This assembly here should be about the same as what's on the machine now. New Axys grips, because I think this is the best grip of all time that anyone's ever made. It's great for me. I was talking to Andy Wenslaff about this. He says for the really hardcore racer guys that this grip is too hard and you get blisters from it. And I definitely get blisters on the trail, but not to that extent. So I can see that, how some people like the softer grip, because I bet that does help quite a bit. But for me and how I ride, I love this grip. So that's what I'm going with there. The only other real fiasco or tricky part that's not even that big of a deal is the brake line. Factory style does banjo bolt to banjo bolt. This caliper has more of a traditional brake line with a hard line and a fitting. So I've got a bunch of stuff here. I don't have the right 36 or 32-inch hose on hand, so I've got two. -3 ANs, we'll put a union in the middle of those. That's no big deal, super simple. And I've got my little bin of miscellaneous fittings and adapters and stuff to go from traditional brake line to AN. So I should have everything here to make up what I need, as long as it's not some super goofy thread pitch. So let's get into this whole handlebar control retrofit update swappy deal. Check out the headlight. We got the Axys Controls zip tied to the bars. We got our low beam. We got our high beam. So we got that figured out at least. On to the next. Where do I want to put these bad boys? Oh, this is kind of sick, dude. Because we got to be able to get all up in it like this. I got a decent bundle of spaghetti going here. Some stuff is twisted together, some grounds, whatever, checking all this with the switch. It's just a matter of going and putting connectors on it all and routing it and looming it. As you can see, I got some of it heat shrunk and loomed already, down to a junction here, yada, yada, yada. So on this handlebar control harness I've made up here, these two aren't loomed down here because these are the reverse and the mode set switches. Not sure if I'll ever end up using them or not, but they're still here in the harness, so if I need to, just a couple Sumitomo connectors on that. I don't know how I was stopping. I ain't got no brake fluid. Jeez. Here's a close-up of what we're dealing with. The hard line adapter set up down in there, so you can't really get a wrench in there. I mean, you can, but you don't have enough room to turn it enough, break it free. So cut the line and get your socket on, and you can do this number. A little bit lucky, O'Reilly, about 15 minutes away, had the fitting I need. 7/16 24 inverted flare to 3/8 24 inverted flare, and then in my kits I had an adapter 3/8 24 to -3 AN. Throw these together, this into the caliper, hose up to the master, banjo bolt to the cylinder, bada bing, bada boom. So our end routing can be something like this, 90 down there, comes up, straight, union, 90. Over here, straight fitting into the banjo. This will be held up more like this and routed a little bit cleaner and whatever, but this is just so you guys get an idea of how it's going with the two hose contraption instead of just having the right one on hand. So donkey brain me is building my intake here because I didn't like how those little pod filters were down in there. Also, everyone in the comments saying put the stock airbox back in, I didn't do this. I didn't take the stock airbox out. I don't have a stock airbox to put back in it. And I'm not gonna go and buy another airbox when I can build something like this. So I've got some pieces, parts kind of whipped up. I got them marked, I gotta tack them all together, cut some more stuff, we'll do some more fitting, getting rid of those tiny little pod filters and building my own little intake. It's gonna stick up out of the hood a little bit behind the windshield. Hopefully I can have this thing all tacked and mocked up tonight. The one tube has to have a big clearance in it for the steering shaft. So I just gotta make a little piece that bevels and sits in here to clear the steering shaft. So that's a little bit of a flow, velocity, laminar flow disruption, but it's gotta be done. It is what it is. Either way, off I go, tack welding this stuff up. It's all mocked up. All I have to do really is do the final welding on it. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, no way. How are you gonna get any better than that? You can't. You can't get any better than that. Crazy. I'm in the middle of fitting up the last little piece for my new intake, but I know the post office just dropped something off, so I'm pretty pumped. I gotta go grab that. Let's go. I look for one of these at like the swap meet and all over. I've checked eBay and stuff, and people that have them kind of want a lot of money for them. You can get them brand new still, so I don't understand. Ooh, the headlight shield, dude, let's go. Whole shop products, owned by Rock Speed, light shield, still have them in stock. They only have black apparently though, but yeah, sick. If you need one, check their site out. I'll put a link in the description, I guess, and then yeah, Edge chassis, dude, light shield, still available.